Hey, what's up, everyone? So my personal statement and my supplement will be in the description. So if you like, please pause the video and read it before you watch the video. Oh, wait a bit. Okay, this is important. After reading these essays, what kind of person do you think I am? If you were an admission officer, would you want me to study at your university? These questions are important because in the end what you're doing with these college essays is that you're trying to appeal to these admission officers to want to have you at their colleges, and that's difficult. Everything about you that you don't write about will be omitted, so you have to be really strategic about what you write about. I think the biggest misconception I had when I was writing these essays was that I thought it had to be written in this pretentious, grandiose way, but that's really not the case because I know a few people who, were amazing writers, but it's not like they got into the colleges that they wanted to get into either. So it's not just about the writing skills, but it's about the way you present yourself. And even though I'm not the best writer, or are my essays the most well-written essays out there, I still do think that my essays were good college essays because I think it says a lot about my character and my personality. And that's what a college essay is supposed to do anyways. But yeah, like I said, I'm not the best writer, so I don't think I can tell you how to write a college essay, but I think I can help you come up with ideas and give you some tips on how to do that. So I was thinking about starting this video off with a story, but I decided not to because I'm not good at telling stories. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not really good at speaking either. So similarly, when I was rereading my personal statement, I realized that the part that I liked about my essay and the part that I thought was good about the essay was a part where I wasn't really storytelling. Let me explain. So I think the best part about my personal statement was the first paragraph, where I was just describing a scene of me tossing a frisbee with my friend in the morning before school starts. And I remember when I wrote that part, I wrote it within an hour, and I was really inspired because I was just describing the scene. And I think the way I described the scene was pretty unique and pretty me, if I say so myself. And my point with this is that the admission officers aren't just interested in your stories, they're also interested in your voice. You can have the most exciting story, but if you don't tell it well, it's not gonna be a good read. And similarly, you can have a really boring story, like the Costco essay, I guess. But if you tell it really well,
I guess I should say I guess tell is not the right word because people say show, not tell. But
if you write it really well, they'll still be interested in your piece. So I think it's really important to keep in mind that it's not just about the story. It's not just about the idea, but with any idea, if you have a unique voice and you can present that well, then it'll become a good essay. And the reason why I wrote about ultimate frisbee was because during the time I was reading all these amazing Common App essays written by amazing writers, and at first I was really trying to replicate these writers, the Costco essay and some of the ones that I read on the JHU essays that worked page. But then at a certain point I realized, fuck, I'm not a good writer, I can't replicate what these people are doing. What do I do? I had 2 weeks left before the deadline, and I was like, fuck, I gotta write something. So I just thought about the most fun thing about my life at the time, and it was frisbee. And like I talk about in the essay, I really enjoyed the 30 minutes before school starts when I tossed my frisbee with my friend, and 30 minutes during lunch when I played ultimate frisbee. And I just wrote about it, and it wasn't hard. If you write about something you enjoy doing, this is not going to be hard. And that's coming from someone who's not even a good writer. You'll have a lot more to say, and you'll have a lot more unique perspectives about the thing you're doing if you're truly enjoying the thing that you're writing about. So what I would recommend is that you just write about something you enjoy about your life. Anything. It could be from the past, the present, or maybe something in the future that you're really excited about. As long as you're excited about it, you'll be able to write something unique and well. I don't think that worked, but whatever. You get the point. Anything more? But yeah, like I mentioned, so the rest of the essay after the first paragraph is not as well written. I think I struggle to tell a story in an interesting way. So you might be really bored right now, like watching this video. I'm sorry. But okay, but the one sentence that I do want to bring up is the one in the second paragraph where I say, I fling the disc in a sublime arc and it drifts right in between two players, slipping into my teammate's hand as naturally as Cinderella's glass slipper. That sounds really awkward. And when I wrote that, I knew that. But I thought this metaphor was something that only I could have came up with, so I just left it in there. And I think it left an impression on people. And I know that because story time, this is not gonna go well. So at Amherst, one of the things that we have for freshman orientation is that the upperclassmen, the theater club or something like that, has this play where they just take interesting and funny sentences from people's personal statement and they make this whole play out of it. And they literally took that sentence and they used it in the play. And I knew people thought it was ridiculous because the person who was sitting next to me literally looked at me in this that's such a weird and funny sentence. I wonder who wrote that way. And I'm that was me. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, so okay, bad storytelling. See, don't do something you're not good at on your college essay. But sometimes it doesn't have to be the most elegantly written piece. Just make sure your voice is heard in these essays. So the supplement about Science Olympiad and family, which is obviously a pun, but
if you didn't get the pun, it's because I was part of Science Olympiad, which we called ourselves bully, so it's bully, family, yeah, okay.
So why I wrote something so unacademic about an academic team was because the admission officers see your application, they know what you've done, at least based on your awards and your extracurricular activities. So you don't want to waste space talking about something you've talked about already elsewhere on your application. So I wrote about something that the rest of the application didn't talk about, which was this family spirit that our science team had. And if you have to write about your extracurriculars, you can always write about one of your extracurriculars that you think didn't get enough justice, just from a 50-word description or whatever, and talk about that, or talk about a completely different side of your extracurricular. And I think that's a pretty effective way of writing an extracurricular section.
Overall, though, I think I could have written it much better, and I think it's written kind of in this childish tone, which I really don't like, but it did what it needed to. So, good job, I guess, to me.
So my M&M supplement was actually not written for Amherst, but I wrote it for the yulci, personal insight questions, whatever it's called. And I realized if I change 2-3 words, it fits perfectly with the prompt. So that's what I did. But because it was one of my first college essay that I wrote, I put a considerable amount of time and effort in it. That's why I think it's written well. This was when I was still trying to write in this pretentious, grandiose way. So if you look at the wordings, you'll notice that I use these big words.
Or words that I think is pretty big.
And this was my attempt at sounding really pretentious while also showcasing a unique side of me, which kind of leads into my interest in research within psychology. But if I were to criticize it, if I look at the second paragraph, it's a bunch of fluff and bullshit. I say all these grandiose things about psychology, but what do these things say about me? And it's not much. So if I were to rewrite that essay, I would just focus more on my interaction with friends, and then finish it off with a few sentences rather than this whole paragraph about my interest in psychology. And I think that would have been a more interesting and better essay. Anyways, I don't have much to say. I just kind of wanted to share my essays with you guys because I think some of you kind of were waiting for me to do this. It's been 3 months since I released my last video, so I'm just trying to get it out there. So I don't know if it's a short video, but I hope it's pretty short, and I hope you got something out of this video. And if you did, leave a like, leave a comment, like subscribe, like do whatever you want. Like, fuck, I don't like that ending. I'm just gonna keep it. Fuck it, whatever, right? Like, all right, I'm gonna just upload this. Enjoy my essays. If you have any criticism, compliments, anything, like any affirmations for me, like I would appreciate them. Thank you for watching, and have a good day, and good luck on your college apps.